Richard Sherman, Destinations, coming at you here on Chat Sports. Mitchell Renz ready to break it down. So first, we're going to get into the latest news around the cornerback, and then I'm going to break down my top 5 teams that could go out and get them, and I'm going to rank these from 5 all the way down to 1. The reason why we're talking about this is because there's been some recent news around Sherman, and apparently multiple NFL teams have reached out to him in terms of being at least interested in the one-time star cornerback. The reason why that I think that this is kind of fun is because he's got a lot of other stuff going on behind the scenes. He's 33 years old, but if he can prove that he's motivated, that he's 100% healthy, and by all accounts, according to his Instagram, he looks like he's doing the right things. But the fact that Richard Sherman could actually be going to a team, I do at least think is kind of an interesting topic here that we can go ahead and discuss. So in terms of Richard Sherman, when you look at the past 5 years, 2020 he missed 5 games, 18 tackles, 1 pass breakup, and an interception. In 2019, 61 tackles, 11 PBUs, and 3 INTs. The reason why I'm going to talk about those 2 years in particular is because they're the most recent. Now, 2020, he struggled, right? He did. He wasn't as elite as what we've seen in the past. 67.7 overall grade. The run defense grade was a 66. The pass rush grade, 55.1. And then the coverage grade, according to PFF, 67.2. But in 2019, you can make the argument he was the best outside cornerback in the entire league. The overall grade of 88.9, 74.2 against the run. He didn't have a pass rush grade. And then I believe this was the top coverage grade according to PFF in 2019, 90.1. I don't think that we're ever going to see that 2019 version again. But even the 2020 version of Sherman, that's good enough to be on a lot of football teams. So go ahead, guys. Get your votes in right now. It's what we do here at Chat Sports. What team will go out and sign Richard Sherman? If you're still saying that nobody's going to go ahead and get him, that's fine. You can let me know down in the comments. But coming up right now, I got the top 5 teams most likely to sign Sherman. Coming in at number 5, it's the Baltimore Ravens. And what I really thought about some of these teams was obviously overall need, but I really do think that Sherman ends up going to a team that's still trying to win right now. So with the Baltimore Ravens at number 5, right now they rank dead last in the National Football League in passing yards allowed, averaging 376 yards allowed per game. That's a lot. Coming into the year, one of the best cornerback duos was actually Baltimore, but then unfortunately, right before the season started, Marcus Peters tore his ACL, and now the Ravens are just lacking a strong cornerback too. If you could go ahead and pair Marlon Humphrey with Richard Sherman, you're at least back into that consideration of having one of the better duos. Now, Humphrey, again, he's absolutely just freaking terrific. He's probably a top 5 corner. Jimmy Smith was once really good. Now he's getting up there in age. I was actually impressed to see what Everett did this past week up against Tyreek Hill. But this is a team that just took down the Chiefs, and they have Super Bowl aspirations. If you want to go ahead and bet on who's going to win the Super Bowl, you can do that at BetUS. How do you get the hookup? Listen up real closely because you got to go to chatsports.com/bet. You got to use this promo code right here, NFL Daily, and that's going to get you a 125% deposit bonus. If you put down $100, get $125 free to bet with. Put down $200, $250 to bet with. You can actually deposit up to $500, get $625 for free to bet with. All you got to do is go to chatsports.com/bet and use the promo code. Now, if you're new to BetUS, and for all those people that went to chatsports.com/bet and use that promo code, I got a special deal for you. We're going to hook you guys up with some free NFL jerseys. Now, we got a whole bunch in stock, so you can't give me some crazy like San Francisco 49ers red with gold text that's an extra large from 1960. No, I don't got that one. I got typical 49ers. We got all NFL types of jerseys here, but it's for first-time BetUS users, and you have to at least put a $5 bet down. So if you want to go ahead and get started with BetUS, and if you want a free jersey, email me for the details, jersey@chatsports.com. Let's go to the number 4 team here on my list for Richard Sherman. It's the Seattle Seahawks, and not only would he be able to return to the team that ultimately drafted him, but Sherman knows the system already. Trey Flowers, sorry if you're watching, Trey, you're below average at absolute best. And Seattle's actually already come out said in recent days that they would be open to going ahead and bringing him back. The reason why that they'd be open to it, this past week up against the Tennessee Titans, the defense obviously struggled on the ground, but they also struggled up against the pass, which has been a major, major issue for them. So whether it's DJ Reed, who I actually think DJ Reed's been playing pretty well this year, Trey Flowers has been struggling. Then you also look at Ugo Amadi. He's okay in the nickel, but they need that second cornerback there. They need that cornerback, too, to be able to step up and get it done. At number 3 here in my Sherman destinations, I got the San Francisco 49ers. The 49ers, another team that when you look at this defense and you always say, when fully healthy, when fully healthy. Well, they just lost Jason Verrett for the entire year. He's on IR with an ACL injury. The reason why this move makes some sense for both sides, he most recently played with the 49ers from 2018 to 2020. And Josh Norman, if you watched this past week up against the Philadelphia Eagles, no offense to Philly, they don't really have any great playmakers on the offensive side of the football at the wide receiver position. Norman looked bad, and I just don't have a lot of confidence either in Drake or Patrick either. So, if you could go out and get Richard Sherman, who, let's face it, I still think he would probably be the number 1 cornerback on this team with the team that he most recently played with. Sure, Robert Salah is no longer in town, but overall fit and destinations, the 49ers, they got to be on the list. But when we talk about Sherman, when you hear a name value of Richard, like he's a household name, right? Like I'm pretty sure if I said Sherman to my mother, she'd be like, oh, I think I know that guy. So with that being said, a lot of times those type of players, they get overvalued. They get way hyped up, way too much. So from a scale from 0 to 100, I want you to act like that we're playing Madden here and we're giving him an overall rating. So 0, he's literally the worst person that could possibly step foot on a football field. 100 being, he's the best player. So let me know down in the comments right now, how good is Richard Sherman? The number 2 team on my list in terms of that teams that could go out and sign the free agent cornerback Richard Sherman, it's the New Orleans Saints. And really when it came down to 2-1, it was very close. The Saints, they've showed plenty of interest in him before. Marshawn Lattimore, he just had some surgery. Now it's not season ending. He's just dealing with a thumb injury. In fact, he's actually questionable for week 3. And then you got Chauncey Gardner-Johnson, who he's also been battling a knee issue. This past week, the Saints, they got exploited up against the Carolina Panthers. And I'm just going to say this right now. That should never happen. I understand Carolina's 2-0, and I understand Sam Darnold's looked pretty well. But without Lattimore and without Johnson, this defense, especially in the secondary, they're banged up. Paulson Adebo, he was targeted 11 times, gave up 9 catches for 90 yards and a touchdown. That ain't going to get it done. Bradley Roby, more of a nickel corner. Brian Pohl's injured on IR. Ken Crawley's on IR. They need extra bodies, so I would not be surprised whatsoever if Sean Payton picked up the phone and gave Richard Sherman a call. Now, if you guys haven't already, please go ahead and give us a follow on Instagram. We are at Chat Sports. We're verified. We got over 15,000 followers. We are always posting stuff on there, trying to keep you guys up to date. So if you have any questions whatsoever about maybe new segments or if anything that you saw from today's show, please give us a follow on Chat Sports. It's literally below, at Chat Sports. It's also on my t-shirt. All right, the top team here for Richard Sherman, the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. And if I would have made this video earlier in the offseason, never would have had Tampa Bay on there. But when I go back and I look at the most recent news, when I go back and I look at some of the most recent things that have been said, I mean, Tampa Bay is not afraid to go out and get a veteran that they think could help them win a championship. We saw with Antonio Brown, and now we could actually see it on the defensive side of the football because Tampa Bay, as long as you got Tom Brady, you're in a Super Bowl window. And why would Richard Sherman not want to go ahead and play for this team? Bruce Arians also said that we got to see maybe if he can help us win, that they were going to go out and do it. The fact that Sean Murphy Bunting was placed on IR, I mean, I like Carlton Davis. He's a good player. However, you got 4 healthy cornerbacks on your roster, and it's only week 3. Sherman would by far be a great upgrade on the secondary. And when you have the pass rush that Tampa Bay has, when you have the defensive line that they have overall, Sherman's going to be able to sit back there and really going to be able to lock up on some guys. So go ahead, guys. Get your votes in right now. That was my top 5 teams for Sherman. But if you don't care about what I have to say, let me know down in the comment section. What team is going to go out and get the free agent cornerback? I'm really curious what you guys have to say. And if you hear me like, hey, let me know down in the comments. I say that because after every single video, me or somebody here from the Chat Sports team, we go ahead and we look. So if you're wondering what some of the bets that I made personally this week, because again, today's show is presented by BetUS. Here are my week 3 bets. I took the under, and the Saints and Patriots game, so 43. I took the over in the Chargers and Chiefs game. I think that Washington's going to cover. I don't think they're going to lose by 10 points to the Bills. Seattle, I got that at -1 up against the Vikings. And then, this might be my steal of the week, the Raiders, I got this one at -4 up against the Miami Dolphins with Tua Tagovailoa starting. So if you want to go ahead and take any of those bets, again, it's chatsports.com/bet. And remember, we got the jersey deal, so email us, jersey@chatsports.com for the details. All right, y'all, so here are my Sherman destinations 5 all the way down to 1. Some other teams that I thought about at least putting on this list, the Arizona Cardinals popped up into my mind. The Las Vegas Raiders popped up into my mind. There was a few other teams as well, even the New York Jets because of the connection with Robert Saleh. But this were the top 5 teams that I believe that could go out and sign Richard Sherman.